Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And there is a lot of stuff going on in Atlanta, Georgia, Georgia as a state, and definitely Fulton County with prosecuting attorneys, the DA, Fannie Willis down in Atlanta. And now we have a physician, a dermatologist, who has decided to go beyond the scope of her specialty and do some serious cosmetic surgery work on individuals without their consent, and videotaping them for her YouTube channel without their consent, and has allegedly botched over 100 surgeries and 100 patients. And she is under a ton of scrutiny and has gone beyond the scope of her specialty and has been doing real serious surgical procedures in her office, not at a hospital or an ambulatory service center, surgery center. But there is a level of egregiousness and craziness in this story that I want all my listeners to check out, and make sure that you vet your physicians, your lawyers, and make sure that they are have a 5-star rating and are doing all the right things. And now this whole social media thing is really taking over, and many professional folks seems like they want to garner more fame than being a skilled lawyer or surgeon. And this one is very, very troubling. Nearly 100 women suffered under dancing Dr. Scalpel, lawyer says. An attorney representing 3 women in cases against an Atlanta area dermatologist known for singing and dancing while performing surgery says nearly 100 other women have contacted her office to claim they too have suffered under the doctor's scalpel. In videos once posted to Dr. Windell Boutte's public YouTube channel, the board-certified female dermatologist can be seen singing as she cuts into a patient or rapping and dancing with surgical instruments in hand doing surgical procedures. At times, assistants in scrubs sashayed alongside her. Susan Witt, an attorney representing 3 women who claim they suffered from Dr. Boutte's work, said close to 100 women have reached out to her office in the past week to complain about their surgical results under the care and hands of Dr. Boutte. The attorney said, "I've had more phone calls and emails than I can respond to," she said. Several former patients said they experienced serious post-surgical complications due to infections, according to Witt. Many other women claimed they were motivated to come forward by Dr. Boutte's apparent lack of care and concern for her patients, Witt said. At least 2 former patients said they identified themselves in the doctor's videos, according to the attorney, without the patient's consent. "I think in this day and age, patients do have to be their own advocate," Witt said. "There has been a cautionary tale which I believe patients can learn from." This has been a cautionary tale which I believe patients can learn from. Dr. Boutte's office has not responded to a request for comment. One of her attorneys, Rod Eason, declined comment and said the doctor is not granting interviews. The video has been deleted from Dr. Boutte's YouTube channel, but through lawsuits that others have filed against the doctor, Headline News, CNN's sister network, obtained video of multiple instances of questionable operating room conduct by Dr. Boutte. More than 20 of her videos were once posted on YouTube, apparently for promotional purposes. In one, Boutte cuts into a patient's abdomen as she sings along to the OT Genesis song, Cut It. In another, she leans over the top of a patient's half-bare buttocks. Without a surgical mask on or gloves, she holds surgical instruments and dancing while rapping her own lyrics to the Migos, Bad and Bougie. My patients are bad and bougie, she said, building up fat in the booty. Headline News found 5 malpractice lawsuits pending against Dr. Boutte. She has reached 4 settlements. The network has not found judgments against her, but female patients have claimed in lawsuits that they suffered infections, disfigurement, and even brain damage following procedures by Dr. Boutte, conducted in her office and not a surgery center or a hospital. Witt said one of the most important things a patient should do before surgery, second to checking the physician's credentials, is researching the facility where procedures will be performed. I would not recommend having surgery anywhere other than a hospital or an ambulatory surgical center. Headline News learned the Georgia Composite Medical Board has had information about Dr. Boutte's allegedly unsafe practices since at least March of 2016. That's 8 years. The board told the network it has no comment. In an interview with CNN affiliate WSB, Dr. Dan Deloche, a board-certified plastic surgeon and chairman of the board, would not comment directly on Dr. Boutte, but he said, "You don't want to rush to judgment and end up making an error that could be professionally harmful to someone like Dr. Boutte or other physicians." Dr. Boutte continues to practice to this day, even with over 100 patients and or individuals that have filed complaints and have reached out to attorneys to see if they can file a lawsuit. What an incredible story. This woman, Dr. Boutte, is a dermatologist, I'm assuming board certified, and has decided that she is going to start performing cosmetic surgical procedures, not under general sedation, and in her office, not at a hospital or surgery center. She was allowing her assistants who were not properly trained and or were licensed to remove stitches, to assist in procedures. She has violated, allegedly, all kinds of hubris laws that have to deal with doctor-patient relationships. There are HIPAA violations that are involved in this scenario, where she is videotaping and releasing the video of surgical procedures of patients who did not give consent, and she put those videos up anyway for the whole world to see. Not only that, she did not do a surgical residency in order to be properly vetted and trained to do cosmetic plastic surgery. She has gone beyond the scope of her training as a dermatologist and has decided that she wants to act as if she is a board certified plastic surgeon by doing butt lifts, surgical procedures on breast, and all kinds of things that are beyond the scope of her medical training. What is going on with the state of Georgia and the medical board for them to continue to allow Dr. Boutte to do this? And they have been evaluating and have been put on notice about this egregious behavior for over 8 years, since March of 2016, and nothing has been done. Dr. Boutte took an oath to be a helpful person and a healer, and it has turned, the wheels have turned, and there is such a large and huge hypocrisy and dichotomy where she took an oath to be a healer and a helper, and now she is harming individuals allegedly. Dr. Boutte needs to be put on notice. This social media thing is blowing up, and it is changing the character and the content of many of our professionals, where they're in search of more fame than the fiduciary duties of their titles and their profession, and making sure that they are at the very top of the food chain in their area of specialty, whether it's the law and or being a doctor. There was another case that I did a video of a plastic surgeon out of Ohio who was videotaping, without consent again, many of her cosmetic and plastic surgery procedures on TikTok, and she was considered to be the TikTok doctor, and subsequently the Ohio board took her license and banned her from practicing medicine forever. And she was a board certified plastic surgeon, female. And she had several botched surgeries allegedly and lawsuits. And now we have Dr. Boutte, who's trying to supersede the plastic surgeon out of Ohio in this egregious behavior and doing cosmetic plastic surgery under conscious sedation, not general anesthesia, and has allegedly botched over 100 of them. And she's not even a plastic surgeon, general surgeon, or has done a surgical residency. She is a dermatologist. We have, as patients, we have to take our lives in our own hands and vet these people appropriately. I don't think I would ever want a dermatologist to remove my kidney or do bladder surgery if they haven't had years of proper training. We have a tendency, based on fame and popularity, to believe that people are of a higher standard and moral code, and that is not always the case. I don't think any physician or surgeon should be videotaping any of their surgical procedures. That is a private matter between the patient and the doctor. And TikTok and YouTube marketing strategies and displaying these surgeries, I think, is an inappropriate, unethical, and immoral way to handle yourself as a professional who has given up the first 30 years of their lives to become a physician, board certified in whatever specialty, and then you want to take the rest of your life to try to be a helper and a healer and not a herder. The Georgia board, medical board, and the state licensures and law enforcement needs to take a look at this particular scenario with Dr. Boutte, a female dermatologist who has decided to go beyond her scope of her specialty and started doing cosmetic serious surgeries on individuals and videotaping them, playing rap music, dancing, not wearing a mask, not having appropriate gloves on, allowing her assistants to do procedures that were beyond their scope. And something needs to be done about this before somebody dies at the hands of this physician out of Atlanta named Dr. Boutte, if any of these allegations are true. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive, righteous, and God-fearing way.